and welcome to this March 20th edition of Off the Map Live. I'm your host, Ben Licata. We've got a good show for you tonight. I hope. I don't know, Shawn Hebrank's always kind of a loose cannon. You never know what you're going to get out of him. Right? Right. Like I said, Shawn Hebrank will be on the show in person, in-house. We'll be talking with Laura Jade from our Grants Pass location, as well as Haley Gogwe. And we've got a special last-minute addition to the show. Chet Zar will be Skyping in to talk about his latest project, Dystopia. Well, he'll tell you all about it. This show is brought to you by the Venetian Tattoo Gathering, which is coming up so fast it makes me sweat every time I think about it. It's not too late to get your tickets. There are a few left. If you're interested in going to an amazing convention in a beautiful city, go to VenetianTattooGathering.com and get your ticket now, because they won't be there forever. We're also brought to you by Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo, now available as a mobile app. If you had the book, you know it's an invaluable tool for tattooers, and it's been updated and digitized, and now you can get it digitally. It'll be constantly updated. It has guest editors, people like Russ Abbott, Nick Baxter, Don McDonald, Megan Jean Morris, Halo, and a bunch more. The plan is to keep it updated. It has videos. Check it out. Gabe, what's the URL for that, man?
Reinventingthetattoo.com.
Oh, reinventingthetattoo.com. So check it out. And as always, we are brought to you by Off the Map Tattoo. We are coming to you live from there now. We are in our temporary space in East Hampton. We are about to move into a beautiful theater space just down the road where we'll be bringing you more live streaming than you could probably handle. If you missed our last show we had Ivana, Tim Senecal, and our own Maximilian. You can check that out on YouTube in the next week. As well as that show, you can find our kickoff show, which had 1 million people on it. Oliver Peck, Hannah Aitchison, Teresa Sharp, Corey Ferguson, Jesse Smith, BJ Betts, Jess Yen, Jeff Gogwe, a ton of people. And that's all up there on our YouTube channel. Subscribe and you can get the latest. Our next episode is on April 3rd. We'll be talking with Bob Tyrell. If you guys remember, we had to cancel his show because I was ill. So we'll have him back in 2 weeks. See what he's been up to in California. And yeah, so we'll be right back after these ads with Shawn Hebrank. Stick with us.
Yeah, every single one. It was amazing. Can't wait to book the next one.
If the next one's like this, or better, even better.
Someone who can turn him around and settle down. He won't fuck it up again, yeah, this'll be different. Says he found her, yeah, she's the one. Fills her head with empty promises, lies, and she buys it all.
Thanks, Gabe. So we're back. I'm here with Shawn Hebrank. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, I guess.
Thank you.
So you just finished up a guest spot with us.
I did.
Here in East Hampton. You've been traveling a bunch. So you're now officially homeless?
Well, yes. Officially homeless, yes. I did register to vote in Connecticut. So I think
legally he's not homeless.
Legally, they think I live in Connecticut.
Okay.
It's like my sister's address.
I don't think this is going to fuck up your voting.
No.
I know it was a lot of work to get registered.
Yeah, I know. It really was. It was.
No, I saw it. I
It was
witnessed
just like faxing stuff. It was crazy.
printed envelopes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've recently decided to travel as much as possible.
Yes.
Where have you been going?
We left Colorado right after Christmas, and we went to the Southwest and then up the West Coast, and then from Vancouver, like across the country, ended up in Portland, Maine for a minute, and started working our way down the coast.
Did you work in Portland?
I did, yeah.
Where
it was
were you?
a tsunami tattoo.
How was it?
Fook. It was awesome. I don't know if I've ever like spent some time in Portland. There's a vegetarian restaurant that I think I've visited a few times, but I'd never really like hung out there much. It was cold the week we were there, but it was really a beautiful town.
So what made you make the decision to be mobile?
I think my wife and I are city shopping, trying to figure out where we're gonna live more permanently than the car. So yeah, I think we're city shopping a little bit, trying to like figure it out. But also, I mean, I've been tattooing now for over 10 years, and I've met a lot of, obviously amazing tattooers, and kind of wanted to just visit their shops and stuff like that too.
So does that make that easier to travel?
Knowing
so many people?
Oh yeah.
You just hit them up and be like, hey, I'm going to be coming through.
I mean, unless you're like rich and don't have to work.
I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah, but so if you if you have to work along the way, you definitely want to like,
So have you learned anything in the whatever, how many months you've been?
2.5 months. Yeah.
Have you learned anything?
Yeah, it's been pretty fantastic. I mean, like not even like tattoo wise, like every single shop has such a different like the way that they run their shop, the way their artists work. I mean everything from like there's more private studios these days than ever before, and everyone like markets themselves so differently and things like that. I think that it's been really interesting, like seeing how unique each shop has become, and then like you move to. I mean, I think you get little bits and pieces at every single shop. There's like things that you love, things that you're like you've never seen before, things that you're like I would never do that in my shop. And so I think that's been for me probably like one of the biggest learning things about this trip is just seeing like how many different ways you could do the same thing as everybody else.
So what about like more practical things? Have you learned what works while you're living in a car? Not really living in a car. I know you're not camping in a car, but like traveling so much, like I don't know, like what you bring with you, and did you bring too much of one thing, not enough of this thing, or have you got it pretty well sorted?
I wish we had a little bit more sorted. I've been leaving things little by little in almost every spot.
Just a trail of breadcrumbs around the country.
Sure, shirts and stuff, for sure. Yeah, I think that like my wife and I have been together forever, so we travel together really easy, and I think we have like figured out the things that like we each do. She like books most of the accommodations. I don't want to talk to anyone on like Airbnb stuff. I never want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to check into the hotel. She can do all that.
You just want to show up and put your bag down and go to sleep?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or draw all night. So that was actually like, that's the biggest thing that I learned is that like, when you're at a normal shop, you're like doing a lot of continue pieces.
Right.
But on the road, it's like all new pieces. And I didn't factor that in. So I kind of overbooked myself. And so it's been like way too many like nights drawing till like 2, 3.
You just didn't leave enough time for the drawings ahead of time?
Yeah, because like they're all new pieces. I mean like almost every single place. Like places I've never been before, if I book like 6 appointments, they're all new pieces. And
has that challenge been a little exciting as well though? Forcing yourself to work that much? I mean,
it has. It's a little bit exhausting, and then like there's some times that like in Salt Lake City, I thought we were just gonna be like a pass-through town, and so I only booked 2 days at a shop. But we only booked 2 days in that town. So it was the day that we arrived, 2 days of working, and then the day we drove away. And so like I didn't even see the lake, so
you didn't miss a lot.
So like in those ways, I wish I had at least half a day to hang out.
Some more open space?
Yeah, a little bit more open space. In some places I booked it a little bit better, And then there's a couple little spots that weren't tattoo related. We went to Vancouver, Canada, and I didn't tattoo up there, so it was nice to have like a few days of.
What's in Vancouver? Just touristy stuff?
I actually got tattooed by Nomi Chi up in Vancouver.
Cool.
Yeah, I was really excited about that.
How often do you get tattooed these days?
I don't know. I get tattooed still a decent amount.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where? You're covered.
So I know I am, but she found a spot on my thigh to cram in this tattoo like that size, and then right before that, I got my my whole left butt cheek tattooed. So
how was that experience?
It was very pleasant. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. You know what? Actually, it wasn't as bad as I expected. It was 2 sessions of like 3.5 hours each or something like that. It was my coworker in Colorado, Ben.
How was the pain? Was it different than other places?
So like the actual butt cheek wasn't so bad. Like as it gets to the butt crack, obviously it's
A little more sensitive?
It's really spicy, you know. And then like it also goes up into my Nick Baxter tramp stamp.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And that part on that lower back part is brutal, you know.
You didn't
And
mess
then-
up the tramp stamp, did you?
No, it's pristine.
It's a museum piece at this point.
Yeah, for sure. my cover up from 2002.
So, is your traveling plan open-ended?
It is the end of it is open, I guess. Yeah. So we have the rest of this country. We're like I'm only have like 4 more stops, and so from Florida we go to Europe, and then we're doing 5 countries there. But we don't actually have like a return ticket. We don't know when we're coming home or how. So
You ever been to Europe before?
a few times. I went with Off the Map actually to the Evian convention.
You like it over there?
I did like that a lot, yeah. And then for my honeymoon 10 years ago, we went to London, and we went to and then we went over to Paris for a couple nights too. So I loved England. I liked it a lot.
So where are you heading this time?
Spain. We're doing a couple spots in Spain, and then Ireland. But no tattooing in Ireland. Just like some
Sightseeing kind of stuff?
Yeah, stuff.
Go see some castles and shit?
Exactly. And then we're going to Scotland.
Find all the best vegetarian restaurants?
Yeah. I hear there's just so many accommodations for vegetarians.
Probably 1 or 2 maybe.
I don't know. It's gonna be ugly. And then in Scotland, we'll see David Gordon at his shop, and then a couple of shops there, and then we're gonna go to Berlin and England, and then also Italy.
How are you getting there?
Wait, two.
How are you getting to Europe?
We're gonna take a repositioning cruise.
Which is what?
So you know that I'm embarrassed by this. Thanks for bringing this up. There's a way that they.
You telling me about this originally actually
yeah.
sent me on a research mission to figure out what exactly it was.
So they have like cruise ships that like just go around the Mediterranean every week to do the exact same loop, you know. But they winter in Florida, and so if you want to go to Europe, it's a 2-week really slow cruise to Europe.
2 weeks.
It's like I'm thinking of it as like an artist residency or like something like that. I'm gonna do a lot of drawing in 2 weeks. There's no internet.
We're gonna do some painting. Let's just see a lot of oceans.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that. Yeah, I mean, there's not gonna be anything. It's just gonna be like the open ocean.
Water.
It'll be terrible.
Other people.
I'm not gonna talk to them either. So I'll be drawing for Europe hopefully, and reading some books, and yeah, I mean I'm excited for it. It's been like kind of a breakneck speed. I'm just.
So they do the entertainment and everything?
Yeah, I think they practice. Like I think like if they have like a magician on board, like
Try out.
like they like see if he's any good, and if not, they like kick him out in Spain or whatever. Yeah,
Sorry, man, you gotta go.
you were bad. Yeah, but it's really cheap. It's really cheap to get from Tampa to Barcelona on just like this one day that you're allowed to leave, and then I guess it comes back in November. But I don't think I can wait that long to ride it back because of I think like EU has like you can only be there for 90 days.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I'll get booted before before I can cruise on home. But yeah, if anyone wants to do it, there's like this repositioning cruise, and there's a few places that they bring U.S. cruise ships each year, and it's super cheap.
I want to try it, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like a kind of torturous hell that I think I really appreciate. Being stuck on a fucking half-price cruise ship. Like training comedians.
I'm not gonna go see any of them. I'll avoid all of that.
I would have to, just for the crazy, bizarre life of it. I would have to see it at least once. Trying out.
I'll have like 400 photos to Instagram.
Trying out cooks and stuff.
Yeah, no, I think they have the cooks pretty much down pat. Like I think it's like the same like head chefs like go every year, and so They
So you'll be okay.
They accommodate vegans apparently. I mean, it's no longer this like crazy lifestyle dietary thing. So a few people actually like that work on the cruise. There's so many people that work on it apparently are vegan, so they know what it is and they won't poison us.
It's probably because, the meat options on a cruise ship for 2 weeks aren't the freshest.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. It's not like they get like a new week's. I don't know.
Like helicopters flying and fresh stuff.
I know.
So you've been around Off the Map forever, since like the beginning.
Almost the beginning, yeah.
Well, almost the beginning of this location.
Was
the absolute beginning of the Grants Pass,
pre-beginning.
When it was just Jeff's shop. So what kind of changes have you seen?
Man, it's gotten so much bigger, first of all. Like, not only like adding shops, right? But, I mean, when I was there in the initial days, there was like maybe one or two resident artists, maybe two resident artists. But even that, like, I kind of high turnover. And then so now there's like a lot more like consistency and a lot more like long-term people, which is nice to see. They're coming back and seeing the same people.
You got a podcast now, too.
Then you have yeah, no one put me on TV 8 years ago. That never happened. So yeah, I mean, there's like that's been a big change. I mean, that there wasn't that back room in the Cottage Street thing.
Right.
It was just those like 4 booths, and they were never all filled. And
That's nuts. I'm surprised it's gotten where it is with 4 booths that were always filled.
Not always filled, yeah, I know, exactly. And like sometimes when I came, it was like, someone was on vacation, so it was like me and like maybe one other tattooer, and now it's like it's packed,
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk with Laura.
Sounds good.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Take a look at these commercials. That's what helps pay for this stuff. See you in a minute.
First things first, stenciling is really important with portraits, obviously. So this is how we're going to start. We're going to obviously shave the area and rub it with rubbing alcohol, get all the oils of the skin off, okay? With freehanding, just a little tip, I like to start off with light and then go dark, just like with tattoo. I personally recommend the different tones one just because it's always more consistent, and there's nothing like dipping into a ink that you really think is light and it ends up being too dark and you end up going dark in a place that was supposed to be light. A little gem, a little type of spray that kind of helps out with your clients when stuff gets, really tender. I know we've all been to that stage where we want to finish some, but our client can't handle it. I'm going to show you, how I personally do that type of stuff. At least that's the ones that I try to give out, is stuff that's valuable, stuff that you can use and really put into play and just totally take your skills to the next level.
What is a webinar? It's your chance to up your game and improve yourself with new techniques in art, in business, and tattooing. Webinars are streaming professional development seminars taught by the masters of their craft that you can watch in the comfort of your home, your studio, or even on the go on your mobile device. If you have a stable internet connection, you can stream a webinar. Here at Tattoo Now, we continually produce high-quality video presentations from top artists and business people. Our catalog includes hours of education from greats like Guy Aitchison, Bob Tyrell, DJ Betts, Jeff Gogway, Russ Abbott, James Kern, Tommy Helm, Ian McCowan, Kelly Doty, Rummer Oriana, and more all the time. These professional artists share their years of experience to accelerate your path and help you become more successful. Fill up on high-octane brain fuel now with a Tattoo Now webinar. Do you want to bring your career to the next level? Then webinars from Tattoo Now can help you do that.
And we're back with Laura Jade. Hey, Laura.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys?
Good. We're pretty good.
Oh,
Where are you
okay.
at? Are you at the Grants Pass shop right now?
Yes, I am.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's new?
Not too much new yet, but things are about to be new. I'm going to Reno and then Japan and then Italy and lots of new things happening in the next month.
Whoa.
Holy
It's going to
crap.
be a whirlwind, man. It's going to be crazy.
I can't believe you put Reno and Italy and Japan in the same sentence.
That's very kind to Reno, for sure.
I'm excited for all three of them equally. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a little more excited for Italy and Japan, but
Yeah.
Reno's going to be an awesome opener to it.
Right on. Are you tattooing in Japan?
No, I don't think so. It's more of a like travel tour inspirational trip, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what I'm in for, so I'm just kind of going for it, going along
Nice.
with the ride. I'm going to spend my birthday there though, so I'm excited for that.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going alone? Are you going with friends?
No, it's Jeff organized it. He has a friend that's going to show us around, and there's a group of us that are going, so we're going to be going. I haven't really looked too much into what we're doing, so just going to go.
That sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome. I'm excited.
So back to Reno.
Japan.
What are you doing in Reno?
I'm tattooing in Reno. I think I've heard that this is the first time that Off the Map Northwest has done a group trip to a convention, so I'm excited to be part of that.
Good. I'm glad you guys are finally starting to get out there like that in
Finally.
mass. Well, not as a group. So are you booked up for the convention?
Yes. I'm only there for 2 days because I gotta come home a little early to fly to Japan the next day. So it's
Whoa.
gonna be one of those crazy things. Sean knows about that kind of stuff, it seems. Yeah. Traveling a lot.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to catch any flights. We just have to like drive, you know.
Oh, that's right, you're taking a boat.
Well, yeah, but around the States it's just been the car, so it's been
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen you since for a minute, so how's everything been?
good. Yeah, we saw you like the first.
Yeah, it was like the first leg of the journey. it
Yeah,
seemed
the
like.
first month. So
Nice.
I was still fresh and
Yeah.
It's not so fresh anymore.
Your hair looks fresh.
yeah, I got that cut. I didn't look at it before I came on here, so that's why I keep doing that one in front of. Now that I see myself on this TV, you know.
It looks pretty good. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's nice. It's
nice.
a little bit more drastic. I remember it wasn't as drastic before.
Yeah.
So here's a question for both of you guys. How do you think travel has benefited your careers? Either one of
I
you.
honestly haven't traveled much and tattooed at the same time, so I'm really looking forward to finding out how that will benefit my career. I've traveled a lot previously to tattooing, but aside from last time I went to the Venice tattoo conference, that was super inspirational, but I didn't actually tattoo there, so I'm excited to eventually be doing more of that. So kind of just delving into it for the first time.
I think that's where I met you.
Yeah, it was. That was fun.
Gallivanting around Italy, drinking
And I'm
wine
excited
everywhere.
to meet you there again and gallivant some more.
Oh, I plan on it. I'm going to be there for
Yeah, I'm on
a
gallivanting.
long time. So how about you? Traveling?
I
Benefits?
mean, I think it's the same
Detriment?
thing. Like sometimes you go. Like I went to Japan. And I got a traditional Tabori tattoo there, and so like sometimes like you go there just for inspiration. You know, you can't come home from Japan and not like just feel like insanely
Yeah.
inspired. You know, or sometimes you go and you like work with someone that you're really impressed with, and that like changes. That changes like So I mean, inspiration whether you're working or not, I feel is, I think travel always helps. Always.
You agree with that, Laura?
Absolutely, I do.
But it's like new things. It's not just traveling. If you read a new book or something.
You have to come home as well. So you come home with a whole new mindset and you're appreciative of what you do have
Right.
and the things that are working well here.
Yeah.
So
I
how
feel
was
like
your?
that every time I come home from a convention, even just in the States, coming back and being like, oh, I just love having this and having this, and the environment that I get to tattoo my clients in is awesome.
For sure.
How is your new home there in Grants Pass?
I'm so freaking happy. It's stupid. I'm the happiest I've been. So.
Are you busy?
Yeah, I'm really busy.
I noticed the last time I emailed you, I got an autoresponder, so you must.
Sorry.
So you must be busy.
That was a suggested thing to do because I couldn't keep up with emails anymore. And just kind of learning how to adapt to the new influx of clients is something I'm just learning how to do. So, yep.
That's awesome.
Good stuff, though. No complaints for that, that's for sure.
No, that's great. How's it been working with Jeff?
Awesome.
I know he's really mean, you know.
Yeah, he's really mean and not very inspirational. And no complaints there either. It's super fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Excited. I'm in a station right now. I feel a little weird.
Yeah?
Just like touches all his stuff.
It's so holy and there's so many things everywhere. I don't want to touch anything.
You should touch everything. We'll get it on video and show it to him, and we'll just watch his reaction.
Oh, no.
Don't break any skulls.
I won't break any skulls. There's a lot of them. Do you see all of them right back there?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's like a catacombs.
They're people.
It's like catacombs. People that like start talking about like the Grants Pass catacombs that they like took a trip to.
Go in and open the door.
It's like their third tourist attraction.
What's the first one?
Jeff, and then the second one's the rafting.
Right.
Yeah, and then get the catacombs.
At night it gets I don't know. I look at them when I'm closing up and I'm like, hey guys, all right, see you later. They're all real people.
So who are some of the people that you've been tattooed by?
Some of the people that I've been tattooed by?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have not started my getting tattooed career very well. I've been tattooed by a lot of people that I don't really know very well, and people that I've worked with. It's been, just like amateur mistakes. And so I've taken a long break, and I'm just kind of starting to reevaluate stuff and plan things with Jeff. So I'm very anticipating positive things for the future, but maybe some laser in between.
You got a big project planned?
Yeah, I'm planning the rest of, bodysuit, I believe, is what I would like.
Awesome.
Go down that journey and experience what that's like, because I feel like I honestly haven't really experienced what a really difficult tattoo session is like, and I feel like that's important for me to know. So.
Well, we're putting in a laser here at the new space, so you come visit us and do a guest spot and get some free laser.
Yes, I want to get some laser. I have so many things. Haley and I will be there in October for a week-long guest spot before the gathering. So.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be here for the gathering.
Yeah, I'll see you then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you booked up for that gathering? What happens if I tried to get that tattoo then?
I mean, I could probably fix some. I could probably figure it out if you want me to.
Cool. Yeah, I was talking to her recently on the Instagram about I have a bunch of like weird little spots, and I think her stuff.
I'm good at that.
I know. Every time I see it, I'm like, man, that's perfect. I would love that.
I just tattooed Nick, and he's all, I want you to do this weird little spot.
Yeah,
I love tying in the weird little spots. The I got this sleeve and I just have this weird little spot left.
Right.
I'm like, that's perfect. Let's tie it in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's how I got this. That's how I got the teeth on my elbow.
Yeah. You could do.
You have a little spot, Ben?
I know I had one. Matt Driscoll filled it in with random little teeth because I just had one spot.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have the keys to the hall.
Yeah.
So you guys can tattoo whenever you want.
Yeah, cool.
Excited to check out the new space, the new location.
I'm really excited about it too. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be really huge.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably still be too small.
Whatever size they give them, they just make it bigger than that.
Yeah, well, less too small.
It's like a turtle.
Like the goldfish of the
That's not turtle.
tattoo.
It's like it's not turtle. No, is it? They don't get different shells. I don't know anyone else.
Do either one of you guys do digital designs? Do you use computers? I love that face.
I didn't practice my no face.
I tried
Jesus Christ, no.
iPad Pro for the first time recently, and he showed me the Mandala app, and I freaked out because I liked it so much. I'm never touching this again.
Because you've always hand-drawn your designs.
I've always hand-drawn everything. I don't know. I kind of like the imperfections, and I like how it's not perfectly symmetrical, and I like the process of it, and I don't know, I just like it. I don't know. It's awesome. I like not having to utilize technology and to be able to draw mandala anywhere. So, I appreciate that technology, and I do sometimes wish I would utilize it, but I don't know. I kind of like just being able to just draw, and I like paper and pens and all that stuff.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean pencil and paper is the thing that I'm most comfortable with, for sure. More so than tattooing even, so to skip that step and go to a computer just sounds like it would just be a bummer, you're just you would lose the part, the part that got me to tattooing was because I drew every single day, I drew every day, And I mean, if I have to do a business card, I'll do a drawing, I'll ink it, and I'll scan it in, and I'll digitally color it just so I know it's going to be a perfect business card printing thing. I know enough about Photoshop to be able to put it in the right the color mode. But not for tattoos. I don't do anything that even looks designy though. So there's no program to help draw bunnies.
The creative process seems to stop as soon as I'm looking at a computer. I'm I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
What do I do? And then on a piece of paper, it's a lot easier to kind of sketch it out and just go directly from brain to my hand, which should be the same, but for some reason it's not when it's a screen. At least for me.
I would agree with that.
It also seems so much less natural for me, and I know a lot of people that do a fantastic job, and they get these tips for their stylus pens that feel just like drawing on paper, but then just draw on paper.
Yeah, just draw on paper.
Just fucking draw on paper.
Laura, what was your apprenticeship like? How did you become a tattooer?
Well, in Oregon, we have to go to tattoo school. So I did not have a traditional apprenticeship. I would like to lean more in the direction of self-taught because the school was basically me being left alone and tattooing people and trying to figure it out. And as far as feedback goes, it was little to none. And it was just, here's your check mark of the day of yes, you did this tattoo. It's one of 50 that you need to complete before we can give you transcripts to go take the state test. So I did not have a traditional apprenticeship. No, I went to school and had to pay for it. And it was challenging, but it was basically being self-taught, I think. As far as, I didn't really learn anything as far as actually tattooing.
Have you ever thought of getting involved in some of the educational stuff in Oregon and trying to make it better?
That would be something I would love to do. I haven't thought about actually doing it until just now, but yeah.
Because you guys,
go fix Oregon.
I've heard horror stories about some of the Oregon tattoo schools.
It can be pretty crazy because there's really no other options except for you go to tattoo school, and there aren't that many awesome ones to choose from. There's better than others, but there's no awesome one. So, and most of them are, you don't really get educated too much aside from the information that you need to know in order to pass the state test. So it most is focused on diseases and skin disorders and bloodborne pathogen stuff. And so actual technique and learning how to tattoo people is not included because most of the time they don't really know themselves.
So you just figured it out.
So you just figure it out on yourself. Yeah.
Hey, is Haley nearby?
Haley.
Or we're going to run an ad, but then we can bring her in.
All right, sounds good. She is nearby.
Cool. So we'll talk to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
So yeah, someone had asked earlier about reinventing the tattoo, and I was about to go into my pitch about that. Right now, the electronic edition is available in a beta, which means it's fully functional, but still a little rough around the edges in places. We're still fine-tuning the interface, and so beta subscribers are going to get a little bit of a discount on it because of that. But at the same time, we're hoping that you can help guide us towards making it the best educational experience possible by telling us ways that you'd like to see, things you'd like to see in the interface, or even helping us with things like, oh yeah, when I click on figure 2.3c, it takes me to the wrong picture. Little things like that. Mostly we've got ironed out, but at this stage, we're still actively adding to the content. Now we're going to be adding to the content from now on. It's a permanent work in progress. But at this point, we're just testing it. We want to see how it works. We want to make sure it works on everyone's phones and tablets. And so far, it's been great. The response has been great. The content, I've been adding new chapters as recently as the other day. I'm ready to drop in. For those who've already been readers of past editions of Reinventing the Tattoo, some of the differences you can expect to see in this, given the fact that you can access it all on your phone. The content obviously has been updated. Things like the rotary machines and cartridges that are available now. That's a huge and very significant development that was not even touched upon in the 2009 edition. There's no such thing back then. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing a print edition of this new book. This stuff is just moving too fast.
I'm so short.
need something that can be updated
You want to switch
and kept current. So that's what we're doing with this one. The other thing that I think is a really big, significant change is I'm no longer the only writer. It's no longer just my working there. You'll have to resubscribe every year, and we will be adding lots of new content. My goal is with this first year's subscription, that by the end of the year, you would never want to let your subscription lapse because there's going to be so much new stuff. So you're not just going to be resubscribing to have access to the same old every time. It's going to keep expanding, and you're going to continue having new material in there every few weeks to months, depending on the type of material. There will be premium content, big things like the cover-up seminar that I just recorded recently. I still have to finish editing that before it's ready to plug in. And then there'll be smaller things like, an artist whose work I admire. I'll ask them to make a few comments about a piece that they've just finished, and that'll get plugged in. There'll be things like that happening to it all the time. So your subscription is going to be to an ever-evolving product. It's not just an e-book that you're having to keep paying for again and again. You're definitely going to get your money's worth, and it's my goal this first year to demonstrate that to you.